My grandmother told me a story when I was younger about when she was in high school and one of her friends needed an abortion. They were picked up, taken somewhere blindfolded, and then dropped off afterwards. And thank God they were okay. You know, the details of the story are so scary. But I was talking to her just last year and telling her about some of the work that we do, and she just looked at me and said, "I thought we had already won this fight."
Any woman that wants an abortion can get one. If she has $25, she has it done here under the most abominable circumstances. And if she doesn't have the $25, please don't forget that she can abort herself.
The Supreme Court today ruled that abortion is completely a private matter to be decided by mother and doctor in the first 3 months of pregnancy.
Iowa and 35 other battleground states, pro-choice forces mobilized today.
I want to congratulate Naral for calling choice what it is, a fundamental American value and freedom.
The central battleground in the debate over abortion rights has shifted in recent years to the states.
Now, it's unlikely that Mike Huckabee's theory about the war on women really being an effort by Democrats to control women's libido will be in the training manual for candidates this fall.
My goal, and the goal of many of those joining me here today, is to make abortion at any stage a thing of the past.
When I was young in 1989, I came to what was probably my first political action, a march on Washington. There was a lot of fear about what could happen to women's choices in this country. And what I remember was a sea of purple. I'd never heard the name Naral before, but I was really taken by the feeling of camaraderie. I never forgot about Naral after that. When I took over last year, I saw a lot of opportunity, but a lot of challenges that we had to overcome. 2012 was a year where elections were won and lost on the war on women, and yet 2013 was a year where we lost more ground in the states than we have in a really long time.
This young woman was going to graduate in December from high school. She had enough money saved up that she intended to move out of the foster home where she was living. And the judge said, "Well, you know you're killing the baby that's inside of you, don't you?" And then he determined that she was not mature enough to make this decision. They got 86,000 people to sign a little petition they put out on the internet. And I thought that was remarkable.
June of 2013, I was packing at my house, getting ready to move to New York City, and I got an email from my friend Roxanne Werner, and she forwarded this communication from Naral saying, "A special session's been called. They're trying to push through this awful omnibus anti-abortion bill. These orgs really want us to show up." Something about the plea, something about the urgency caused me to reconsider, and I said, "You know what? I won't go on that road trip tomorrow. I'll drive up to Austin and go testify."
Thank you for being you, Texas legislature. You have radicalized hundreds of thousands of us. And no matter what you do for the next 22 days, women and their allies are coming for you.
Going down to Texas to stand at a rally of tens of thousands of people with Wendy Davis and other heroes in the movement, to enjoy and lead a moment of resistance that I, as a Texan, it even surprised me.
It really came down to the nature of the call from Naral. They made it so clear that they didn't need your $5, they needed your voice.
The pendulum is shifting, the wind is at our back. Everywhere we look, this extreme minority that's trying to seize control of women's lives is being met with a growing chorus of advocates for reproductive freedom who are intent on beating back the attacks and actually marching proudly together into the future. We've seen that in Virginia with the election of a pro-choice governor. We've seen that in Albuquerque, where broad coalitions came together to beat an abortion ban there, and I just think we're going to see it more and more in the coming years.
A lot of anti-choice activists have overplayed their hand in trying to get a lot of these things on the ballot. And
and a lot of people are sick of it.
When you hear national politicians saying things like, a pregnancy from rape is a blessing from God, that gets your attention.
People think that this issue is a woman's issue, and it's not simply a woman's issue, it's everyone's issue. The idea that people are inflicting their beliefs on women, it's contrary to everything that this country stands for.
When you actually talk to young women who are scared and who don't know what to do, it really drives everything home and makes the work that we do here at Naral feel even more important than it would have been before.
There was something different about the outreach in 2013 that didn't just make me change my mind about going to testify that day. I stayed in Texas because I believe in the movement and the coalition that Naral helped form.
People who do this work do a wonderful service for our communities because we speak truth to power. It's essential, and Naral is essential, to be there in the background, always supporting and speaking for them.
2014 is going to be a really exciting year. We're going to lean into the culture shift that we've started by engaging young people all over this country and telling us what reproductive freedom means to them and their own voices. We're building platforms, we're leaning into our digital power to make sure that we're being able to not just talk at people, but actually surface the voices that make the difference in this country and show that when we offer people the opportunity, that an entire chorus of women come together to tell their own stories.